Makes you sometimes wonder whether anything's worthwhile.
A friend of mine offered me a lot of parts that he found in the garage of his father, and these are all the carburetors that came out of it. These are Solex carburetors, twin barrel Solex, very similar to what we have on the Weber DCOEs, and this is a Weber DCOE. Of course, I have cleaned them up a little bit, but this is really great stuff because they still have the tags on it, and they look complete and intact. So I'm pretty pleased with this because each one of them runs around 250, 280 euros if you have to buy them. So I'm going to rebuild these, and since I'm into racing cars, I might as well reuse them. And all of them are the Solex C40s DDH, and they're very similar to the Weber DCOE 40s. All of them are made in Italy. And of course, if you talk about carbs, you need to talk about fuel pumps. And this is a set of about 4 of them. I only placed 3 on the box here, but I have 4 fuel pumps that are electrical. I think they come typically out of a British car. In fact, you got on the top, you got a kind of a solenoid motor that's going to spin around the pump inside, and then you have fuel in, fuel out. I mean, you can look on the quality of this build. This is amazing. It almost looks like airplane quality. I don't know if this still work, but I'm going to recondition these. Now we also got something what we call magnetos, and a magneto is the predecessor of the modern ignition coil and electronic ignition. In fact, it's a permanent magnet in which we have something spinning around in it. And then you got some breaker points in the front, and you even have a distributor here. You can actually see the cylinders, 1, 2, 3, and 4. You still have a lead on one of them. And you could adjust this slightly. Here you would have the pulley on, and it rotates clockwise. Pretty interesting stuff. It says Magneto RB, and then there's a number. I think this used to be fit on pre-war cars. I haven't seen them after the war. And this guy is a bit of a bigger one, but it's the same principle. So I'm going to recondition those. I don't know for what I'm going to use them because I don't have cars like this. But we got some smaller junk with it. We've got the Volkswagen symbol from a Volkswagen Beetle. These are little sockets that you use around your stick shift. So I've got 2 of those. I haven't cleaned them up. And then we got the pedal rubbers. And I have 2 jacks for the Volkswagen Beetle. And some switches. So if you know anybody that likes this, they can have it. I don't need this. And I came across all kind of funny things. These are actually flip out blinkers. And so whatever you were turning, this thing would flip out. You can see this one is for a Ford. And then it would flash inside. And then, you know, you got a blinker. This one is the same, it's a little bit different. Let me show you. So that would come out and then flash. Really funny stuff to see. I don't have cars for this, but if somebody is interested in it, let me know and you can get it. And this is another piece that I like. It's old, it's a battery charger, and it works on 6 volts and 12 volts. And somebody fixed it at the time. You can see the wire here across the fuse. This operates at 110 volts. I don't know if it still works or not. I might open it up later, but these are nice little collection items. Not that you can really use it. This is not a gun, guys, but this is a West Germany built compression meter. So the way that works is that you actually insert a piece of paper inside, and I actually have one laying around. So this is one of those little pieces that you put inside, and you can see the tracks on it. And inside here there's a needle that will write onto that card. So the card you would have to put up here inside. Let's see if I can get it in, because this is a bit of a worn card, but that's where it's supposed to go. Well, let's see. So you put a little card, blank card, into the holder. Now I'm going to take it out because otherwise I'm going to damage the pen inside. And inside you have a pen, right? And then you slide this in. And then you take the compression in the car. You hold the pin into the cylinder, and there should be a rubber there. And then once you're done with cylinder number 1, you pull the trigger here, right, once. And then you'll see this guy coming up. Cylinder number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you can actually check 8 cylinders with this. So this is an old type compression meter. And as you can see, there's a lot of stuff that I need to sort out today. I mean, some of that stuff is pretty neat. I mean, you look on these original boxes, and these are like lights inside, and they're still fairly intact and new. So, look at that. In the original packages. We also got a whole bunch of spark plugs, and these are very old spark plugs. Let's have a look what's inside. Oh yeah, this is really still original, isn't it? So this is an old Varta spark plug. So it's Autolite. I don't even know that brand. Let's see what's inside. Oh, it says 65 cents. That's what the price used to be. So this must be an American plug and pretty old. So again, let's have a look. Oh, still packed and wrapped. Wow. That's an interesting plug, isn't it? Look at that. And the washer came with it. It just fell off. Here it is. All right. And there is an instruction paper with it. And let's see where it fits for. Recommended spark plug settings for cars up to 1942 inclusive. So they list Chevrolet, Cadillac, Lincoln. Really funny. And if you look on the side, they're listing a little tool to check the gauge. And guess what? I even got that tool with it. And we also got a vintage jack, and it says world patent applied for, made in England, 750 kilograms. And it also came with a lot of different horns. Pretty neat stuff. I don't know if they all work, but some of them are pretty impressive. And even if they are not working anymore, they could make up for a nice ornament, because I got like about 8 or 9 of them. Also very traditional horns, like this one. That's very common. This is another interesting one. Well, we'll find out if they work or not later. And in this box, well, we got all kind of electrical stuff, a whole bunch of coils, ignition coils. I don't know how many I have. I've got motors for the wipers and regulators. You name it. You know, there's so much stuff in this box. I still need to sort it out, what I have. So this is another wiper. And then here we got a lot of lights, and even big old lights. And this also came out. This is kind of funny. You don't see that too often anymore. Belgian flag. And then you got the Flemish line. I guess that's what we used to do. It also came with a whole bunch of old headlights, and you just see 3 of them here. I got multiple sets of them, and the one on the left has been cleaned up. So with a little bit of tender loving care, you can still create pretty nice looking headlights, and they will fit on my old Rusty, or you can even use it in the house on a stand as a light in the house. And here we have an old motor, and it looks like from a bicycle, but I don't know which bicycle. It is pretty much intact. I did clean it a little bit, but that looks quite alright and complete. So those of you who know where this could be coming from, let me know. This looks like the gear shifter. And we also got 2 nice fenders, and they are not rusted through, so they must be fairly new. Of course, they've been sitting in a warehouse for a long time, so they have a bit of surface rust, but I don't know what car they came from, but if you know what it is, then feel free to come over and pick them up. And this is without any doubt the most beautiful part that I got out of this pile of junk. And it's most likely a 1928 Renault engine from a torpedo. There's no doubt what the brand is, because we got Renault on the exhaust manifold. And it's fitted with a brass carburetor, so that is quite interesting. I haven't seen that too often, but then again, I'm not into this kind of cars. But this is really neat. I don't know where the air filter was. This must have been the gas throttle. It certainly feels like it. On the side we got these brass knobs, there's two of them, which are closing up a lid, and that lid is supposed to be the lid that is covering up the side valve. So let's see if we can open that up. If it opens up, and it does. And inside you got all the valves. And on the side we got the magneto, and you might remember I showed you the magnetos before. Well, this is one which is fitted to the engine, and this is the shaft that drives the magneto. We have some breaker points on the side, and then we have the distributor right here. As you can see, this is a 4-cylinder, and this looks pretty much intact, and some of the details are really amazing on how they finished cars at the time. You can't compare it anymore with cars of today. I mean, even the knobs, they were like kind of machined properly and very well finished. I mean, look on that grid here, and I haven't cleaned it all the way yet, but this looks so nice. And on the side, we got something strange. It says vidange. It means empty, it means running, and jauge. I don't know what that means, but I will need to look it up. And can you turn this? You can't, but you can lift it and then kind of turn it. So I'm not quite sure. Anyhow, this is a very interesting engine, and don't know what I'm going to do with it. So as you can see, we've got lots of parts, and some of those parts I will probably sell, others I will give away, and some I will keep. So now I need to get on with it and sort it all out and put it into boxes.